got another.
I'll be the one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting old and I don't got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, let's get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance, I stand. I'm gon' pull four in the fucking white sand. I give it all to this fucking mic stand. If it's been done before, then I know I can. I'm on the rise, I'm trying to keep a level head. She want my time, she begging me to give me
sir. What's the deal? Hope all is well. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalon, and this is Nice and Neat. And fellas, today our episode is interesting. It's real interesting, and I know I got a lot to say about it myself specifically. It's something that we've been seeing a lot in this generation, especially with like millennials and Gen X or Gen Z, whatever you call them. Talking about cancel culture. We experience that a lot. Quite frankly, I'll just go out and say I'm not a really big fan of it. And I know within the episode, I'll get into why I'm not a fan of it. But, you know, most recently we seen 𝗷𝘶𝗶𝘀, Lil Boozy, you know, get canceled. And like essentially cancel culture kind of is saying that we don't want to support these people anymore, right? And if you support these people, we'll condemn you for supporting them because you stand for what they stand for.
Yeah.
I personally don't agree with that. So when it comes to cancel culture, how you feel about it, Oh?
Yeah, I personally don't agree with it either. You know, I think cancel culture, it seems, I'm sure it exists in every community, but it seems like it's most prevalent in the Black community, you know, and that's something I'm not the biggest fan of. It seems like we're always canceling each other, you know, and also, you know, just to add to like what cancel culture is, it seems that cancel culture only applies to people of status, celebrities, or, you know, like it doesn't really apply to the everyday individual or person. Yeah, I don't like that. I feel like it only exists within our community. You know what I'm saying? I think that shit is whack.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, obviously, there are other people. I mean, you mentioned just people in our community, but there are other people in other communities like the Larry Nassars of the world, the Jerry Epsteins of the world. You know, and I'm sure that, you know, people say that they don't approve of their actions and, you know, they actually shun them, but I never really hear them say, yo, they're canceled.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of feel like that only exists within our community. I'm not sure why we do that to us. It's always like us turning our back on us.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest fan of that.
Yeah,
So.
I definitely don't agree with cancel culture, mainly because I don't like the fact that I feel like people pick and choose who they want to cancel, right? So I don't think the rules for canceling people are consistent, you know, throughout the landscape. And I also feel like once people get canceled, then what, right? Because we're quick to cancel people, but not quick to like offer a solution. It's like the solution is, okay, we're not messing with this person anymore. But there's always an underlying, you know, issue that we don't want to address. So like if your favorite celebrity, right, says something egregious, you may come up with some excuse of why it's okay for them to say it, but the celebrity or person that is kind of the butt of the joke all the time, right, i.e. a Bow Wow, right, i.e. a Tyga at one point, right, it's very easy to cancel these guys because, you know, you don't feel like they're speaking to you on that level. Whereas if Beyonce says it or Jay-Z said it, it's like, all right, well, he could say that he's Jay-Z. You know what I mean? So like the rules to canceling people aren't, to me, consistent. So that's why I don't really like it, you know? And like to your point, man, it feels like it only comes from our community.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of understand that because proximity is what we notice more, but it just feels like we don't give each other grace to have different opinions.
Dead on the head.
Right? We don't give each other grace to make mistakes. You know what I mean? And it sucks because if we look at it from a humanity standpoint, right? We all make mistakes.
Man.
You know, we all have different opinions, right? So I think it's just the fact that a lot of people that people quote unquote cancel are celebrities, so they feel like, okay, we could actually cancel this person,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not going to really hurt them, and they deserve it because they're celebrities and things like that. So that's personally why I don't like it.
Yo, I know you said, you mentioned the mistake. We all make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
You know, another thing that I don't like about the cancel culture is that, like, you could be such a polished individual, right, and make one mistake, and all of a sudden, we don't rock with you at all.
Yeah.
Like, just to add to your point, as if we're not human.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How could we cancel someone for making one mistake?
Yeah.
For one moment in my life, I lost control.
Yeah.
I lost control. And all of a sudden now you guys y'all turn y'all back on me?
Yeah, and it's not. I wouldn't even say it's fair to even call it a mistake. You know? It's not, because sometimes I strongly believe in, you know, how I feel.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't think how you feel is a mistake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't think it's a mistake. I also think that, like you said, the grace is not shed upon people, and like within grace, it comes forgiveness and teaching, and so people can really understand. I don't think cancel culture moves with the same intensity across every single board. So, for example, you know, I don't know if you guys know, but the author of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling,
is racist, right?
She not necessarily racist, but she got canceled for some of her transgender comments, right? Because of how she feels as a woman and what she's proud of as a woman, and she was canceled, right? But as we sit down and we talk about where we want to go with this topic, I was looking at the black people. I'm just gonna say that black people.
Say it.
They get canceled not because of the media though. They get canceled because of us. And cancel culture is another outlet, like Black Twitter, right? Black Twitter is another entity nobody owns, but it's a thing.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Cancel culture, nobody owns it, but it's a thing. Right. And I think that it's us who double down on the canceling or whatever it is that they said. And that's what ostracizes people. And for example, like J.K. Rowling, she was canceled, quote unquote, but her rides are still at Universal Studios, you know, and
Is she really canceled?
is she really canceled?
Is she really canceled?
You know, but like, no, because the entire her culture didn't get behind canceling her. But yet we constantly get behind canceling our own people rather than just education, you know, and letting them know what's going on. Like, for example, the first time like I was really like, I don't like this, was when Jussie Smollett got canceled. I knew he was lying.
Everyone knew he was lying. Everyone knew he was lying.
Everybody knew he was lying, right? Like, nobody is walking the subway at 10:30 in Chicago in 1 degree weather.
No one.
And I don't know if you guys remember, people were literally freezing and dying.
No, there were cars that were frozen over. It looked like they were in Antarctica.
And they were like, you know what? Cancel him because he lied. And I didn't think that was fair because he's a representation of an entire group of people. He's a gay black man that is in the industry.
Yeah.
People need to see that.
For sure.
So for people to cancel that, I didn't think that was fair.
Yeah. Also, bro, you know what's extremely just alarming to me, right, is with us, we cancel people for things that they say, but in music, right, our music is very just aggressive and violent, and there's so many things we could point out in every rap song today that we could actually say, hey, he's canceled for that, to tell you the truth, right? But we bypass all those things and decide to cancel something that really isn't as powerful as a lot of things. Yes, 𝗏𝐵aby just came out and made some comments, right? But 𝗏𝐵aby also raps about a lot of shit that's not, you know, that anyone can be like, yo, that's not conducive to us as a society, right? But the one thing he says is, now it's canceled, right? So it's like when Black people, when we talk about killing each other and we talk about robbing each other, we never cancel each other for that.
Yeah.
Right. So it creates this like this thing where it's okay to talk that stuff and talk about each other like that. But if you get outside of that frame and start talking about LGBTQ,
Yep.
I think it's a plus sign at the
Okay.
end too.
And
now.
it's a plus sign.
Okay, so
Okay,
if we start talking,
Hope we right.
if we get out that
Correct
frame,
us in the comments
right,
if we're
and we
wrong.
start talking about, you know, giving our opinion about that, or even giving our opinion about women, it's like, yo, you're canceled, you know. But with each other, it's never like that.
Yeah. I think the thing with the music is such a fine line because the music is almost
Art.
entertainment.
Yeah,
it's art.
it's like art.
Yeah.
It's art, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas specifically Justin Smollett's situation, those are more so actions.
Yeah.
Where the babies are still words. So,
But that's music.
But it's not like he was rhyming, right? This was like a moment where he just spoke something out on the mic, right?
But that's entertainment at a concert.
Right. So would you guys say this, right? In one sense, I do understand the concept of cancel culture.
We want to hold people accountable.
Right? And not necessarily hold people accountable. Like, we live in America, and, you know, I say this all the time. We live in a capitalistic society, so the best way to discipline somebody is their pockets. So rather than just finding somebody, it's like cancel them so they can't get a show, they can't get a movie, they can't get a theme park ride, they can't get a network, right? And the crazy part, the part that upsets me of why I say it just doesn't move on equal playing fields is because our people legitimately get canceled to that point. Don't play R. Kelly anymore. You know, you can't step in the name of love over here. Not over here. You can't Chicago two-step over here.
They don't even want you to rock with you.
They don't want to play Michael, right?
R. Kelly still in your house?
Is he still in my house? Like, can he play?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he come on, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why I said it though. Like I said, look. J.K. Rowling, but I also don't worship R. Kelly. He's not.
He was never like the
he was
barometer
never
of how to
like.
act.
I don't put any more clout on someone because they got more money than people or they have more fame than people, right? And like I said, J.K. Rowling was quote unquote canceled. She still has rides. You know, Harvey Weinstein, he's canceled, right?
Right.
Why is Django still coming on TV? Why is Pulp Fiction still coming on TV? Kill Bill, why are they still coming on TV? His pockets is still flowing, but yet when it comes to us, our pockets don't flow no more. And I think it's because
It's because of us, though.
we double down and say, you don't support them. People crucify me for supporting Kanye, his music. I like him. I'm a Kanye fan. I like Kanye's music. If him and Drake drop on the same day, I'm going to listen to Kanye first. I'm going to be honest.
Whoa.
I like Kanye's music.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
I can resonate with it.
Yo, so you feel like when I'm getting this, you feel like us black people, we're much harder on each other than other races, right?
Always.
Right.
You know, it's set up that way. That's another episode, but it's set up that way. But people have to recognize that, though.
Right. And another question: do you feel like people should be able to separate the musician from the music, or separate the person from the art, or
body of work, or just work in general?
Or it's kind of like, you know, one and the same?
I think that's relative to each individual, you know, because I feel like I can. I feel like I could. Do I want to go through and select R. Kelly in my playlist? Right. No. But
I'm definitely not just selecting R. Kelly.
No, and I know that's not what you're saying.
If he pops
but
up
what I'm saying,
on the playlist,
if Step in the Name of Love come on, I might get my two-step on.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
So that's what I'm saying. So that if you can say, okay, I'm not going to select R. Kelly, that means you're not separating the person from the art, right? Because if you are, then it's like, yo, I'm going to select his music. Right? I know it's tricky.
I don't think me or O are not the biggest R. Kelly fans anyway.
Right.
You know, it's like when you hear a sound, when I hear the sound, it's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
Let's use another artist.
Okay.
Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Like, I'm still going and selecting Michael Jackson songs.
Cool.
Like, I know people may crucify me right now for that, but like,
so that's
in my house, like,
separating.
I'm able to separate the art from the artist.
But also, like,
know?
a lot of people think Michael Jackson innocent.
So you're saying the consensus is on R. Kelly is
it's like everyone know he.
but
like,
you know, like, even just to dive a little deeper, another reason why I don't like it is because you don't recognize the type of history that's being deleted when you're living in it. So, for example, Bill Cosby was canceled. You won't see the Cosby Show anymore. So in 30 years, people will have no idea who he is. He won't be in the history books.
Man.
He won't have any information out there about him. And that's the negative concept to cancel culture that I don't really like. You know, like, for example, R. Kelly, you know, I hate to go back to him, but he is one of the greatest musical writers of all time.
For sure.
Right? So anything he touched, we got to delete.
Right.
Like, anything he's ever touched, we got to delete. Michael Jackson, anything he's touched, we got to delete. R. Kelly, anything he's touched, we got to delete.
Do you think that changes, though, if black people have the infrastructure and control the distribution and control, like, the like you said, Bill Cosby, he's canceled, right? But I'm the networks cancel them because they're not black networks. Do you feel like it would be different if these networks, like a Tyler Perry,
I'm about to say
network,
Tyler Perry Studios,
right? A Tyler Perry Studios or a I won't say Oprah Winfrey Network, but more black people had networks. Do you think it will be different where it's just like, okay, the cancel narrative won't be as effective, or it won't be just like history being erased?
So I think the important part, right, in that specifically of what you're talking about, like black networks, right? First and foremost, ownership in anything
It's gonna help it.
is where it's at.
Yeah.
You know, for someone to just be like, okay, I'm gonna go over here and I expect them to treat me this way because they treat me like this today.
Right.
Like all you got to do is make a mistake and they can snatch it from you. So that's why ownership is extremely important. You know, so I do admire what Tyler Perry is over there doing, but no, to answer your question, I don't think cancel culture will be as intense.
Oh, could you imagine the amount of pressure that Tyler Perry will be under if that was underneath his studio?
Well,
you know, like we talk about us wanting to cancel that artist or that actor or the writer, you know what I'm saying? But if that studio doesn't kick his shit off there too,
man, that's interesting.
Oh, we at his throat too.
That's interesting, right?
We at his neck too. You know, we at that studio's neck too. Oh no, so y'all agree? You guys are aligned with that mindset.
No, that and that's what it is.
And
that's
where
what it
comes.
is. Like I don't know if you guys watch the 𝗲𝗏 in the Palace on Netflix yet?
Yes.
Nah, I haven't seen it.
Okay, so perfect, right?
It's hard.
So the suspensions were unprecedented, right? But as I'm listening to why these suspensions were unprecedented, wasn't because Ron Artest ran into the stands. Wasn't because Steven Jackson was socking people in the stands and Jermaine O'Neal was sliding across the floor sleeping Hispanic men. That's not why it was. It was because the NBA's image looked bad.
Yeah. Thugs. They kept using
They kept saying thugs. They kept saying this is the NBA. The dress code immediately changed after that.
Yep.
So it's optics. The optics were bad.
They were saying that, yo, it's too much hip hop. This is not hip hop. This is the NBA.
Yeah.
So they said, yo, we're gonna give these guys fine, let them know. Like Ron Artest spent the whole season.
The whole season, never seen it.
And
And
you know
it
what's
happened
crazy?
in November.
The whole season?
Dog,
It happened
we
in
didn't know.
November, bro. They were supposed to win a championship.
Yeah,
that year.
that's what we talk about. We don't realize how good that team was. They were supposed to win the championship. They had a good team.
They went to the
good
Eastern
best
Conference
record.
Finals the year before.
Yep.
You know.
We don't remember that. And then
I don't remember that.
He was gone after that. And they broke up. Reggie Miller retired after that. Damn. You know?
So like, what? Okay, you personally, right, dude? What are some things that you're willing yourself to actually cancel somebody for? To where you're like, you know what? That's inappropriate, and I don't get down with that. I don't get down with it at all.
I think unjustified like murder, rape, right? And saying like, okay, this dude really raped him. And I think what also helps is the actual visual of what's going on, right? Because we can hear stories all day, you know what I mean? But when we actually see what's going on, it hits us differently, right? So now no one can deny what's happening, right? But if it's a story, it's kind of like, all right, well, it could get twisted, you know what I mean? But for me, if it's like a hardcore evidence and facts that, yo, this dude raped somebody, or this dude's killed somebody, or this dude, you know, is racist, like, just like, yo, I don't like your type of people, then it's like, all right, cool. I understand that everyone's different, but like I don't have to subscribe to that, you know? And I think that in those situations, yeah, I would cancel some. I personally would cancel some. I was like, y'all don't really like this person. But again, I do believe in separating the art and the craft from the person, right? So if you're a Donald Trump supporter, right, and I don't support Donald Trump, and you're Tom Brady, I can still watch you play, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say I can't watch you play because you support Donald Trump. So I believe in separating, you know, how I feel about a player and the craft.
So within,
I see you try to pull a fast one on me. What's the deal, y'all? Welcome back to the Nice and Neat Halftime Show. I'm your host, Omar, and I'm gonna get straight into it. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Yeah, we paying attention to the analytics. We pay attention to the data. We see it's a lot of women out here repping and holding it down for the Nice and Neat family. So this is specifically for you guys, all right? If you haven't already, head over to shop.𝗀𝗪𝗏5678.com and pick up your full body contour body set, all right? The sets is looking so tight. They looking painted on ladies' bodies. They looking fresh, and they selling out fast. So, I mean, by the time you listen to this, they may not even be left in stock. But head over there anyway, check out what you can, and support the family. With that said, man, let's get into today's Game. Them the rules. Dude, what we got?
Man, so we all know 𝗂𝘂𝗁 𝗪𝗡𝗂. She got banned from the Olympics, right? Because she failed a drug test, right? For weed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really smoke weed, but I don't think personally it's a bad thing, right? There's plenty of people that smoke weed and are able to compete. But when you play professional sports or you're in the Olympics, the rules are you can't smoke weed, right? So my question is, man, even though we know weed is something that's legal technically, right? And weed, it's not something that enhances performance technically, right? Should people like 𝗂𝘂𝗁 𝗪𝗡𝗂 get leeway for breaking rules that are considered silly rules or insignificant rules, right? Because a lot of people can say, hey, weed doesn't do anything. You know, there's most of the people, you know, smoke weed, right? Should she get leeway, you know, right? And should people, you know, give her grace for her situation, even though she broke the rules?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think rules are rules. You know, there's been so many dumb, unnecessary rules that we may have felt like that about that were in place, but we had to follow them.
Taxes.
Taxes. Bro, you know, like what's a dumb rule?
Taxes.
Like jaywalking is a dumb rule.
Stupid.
It's a dumb ass rule, right?
Yeah,
but if
yeah.
you get caught doing it, like you can't get mad if a cop decides that on that day he needed that bread to give you that ticket. Because you knew the rules, right? So you can't get mad. So even if that happens, right? You'll be pissed about it, but you're gonna accept it. You're gonna take the penalty. You're gonna pay the ticket. You're gonna pay the fine or whatever it is, right? And I'm sure there's a plethora. I'm sure you have a stupid rule that you know, off the top of your head, you know. But you know, rules are in place for a reason. You know, sometimes we don't necessarily understand them. We don't necessarily agree with the rules that are in place. But the rules are the rules, and if you break the rules, you have to face the consequences. And it's just, to me, it's just as simple as that. So, you know, do I agree that, you know, weed should be a legal banned substance? Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I'm an
Why not,
advocate.
though?
I'm an advocate for marijuana. I am an advocate for marijuana. You know what I'm saying? I believe in all the healing properties and the things that it could do for those who play sports and those who may be affected from head trauma, all of these things.
Hey,
right?
sorry, would you do a brand deal with a marijuana company?
Absolutely.
Okay.
For medicinal purposes, oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I am an advocate for marijuana. So, like, no, I don't agree with the rule at all. I think the rule is stupid. But the rules are the rules, fam.
And you knew that.
And you knew that, and you broke them.
Yeah.
And just to go in a little bit further, you know, she's young. She's 19 years old, you know. She made a mistake, you know, and before you get off your point, I just hope she gets the right people in her corner so we can see her in the 2024 Olympics.
We definitely
because
gotta
I
see
want to
her
see
there.
her, and I'm not canceling you. I'm not canceling you. We're not canceling you, you know, but you broke the rules, so.
Yeah, 𝗂𝘂𝗁 definitely broke the rules. She definitely broke the rules. Do I think it's a dumb rule? Once again, I do think it's a dumb rule. But when she signed up for this sport, she knew all of the rules. She knows about finish lines. You can't push it back. You can't push back the finish line just because you got caught or you losing. Like, you can't do that to try to get a little bit more extra ground, because when you do that, you can continue to push back the finish line, and people are just going to keep, as humans, we just naturally take what we could get. It's just a natural thing. You know, we always want more. So it's like, if this is the rule and you broke the rule, you gotta face what comes with those consequences. Like, you can't have this with that. Like, that's why yin and yang is a thing, up and down is a thing, left and right is a thing. If you break the rules, you have to be willing to deal with the consequences that come from breaking the rules. And once again, do I think it's a stupid rule? Absolutely, I think it's a stupid rule. Do I think weed makes you run faster? Because I know somebody's at home like, well, it don't even. I know it doesn't make you run faster, but them the rules.
Straight like that. Straight like that.
Hey, with that said, we're going to conclude today's halftime show, and we're going to get to it. The second half, the only way we know how, that's with some positive energy, some positive vibrations, and a smile, of course, man. Let's go.
So, Duke, in the first half, you said that it was three main things that you would cancel somebody for. You said taking advantage of someone sexually. You said murder. And you said racism, right? And when you said racism, it made me think about Donald Sterling, right? The Clippers owner, right? And he was blatantly being racist, right? However, it was within his own home.
It was in his home.
Right? And we would be remiss to think that people didn't do things that we wouldn't like behind closed doors or with their own home. So I do want to ask, like, do you guys think that cancel culture kind of suppresses who people really are, and it doesn't really allow them to do things publicly? They just kind of get better at hiding it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to add to that, like, our culture canceled Donald Sterling.
Yep.
Their culture did not. We canceled it, right? I rarely heard someone outside of the black community being like, oh, Donald Sterling, he's out. He's canceled.
He got too much money. They can't cancel him for real. Like, you know, up and down Wilshire, like, he owns the block. Like, those sky rises in Wilshire, those are Sterling Towers.
It's kind of like what I was saying, though, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like how I was saying, like, we know these people are having conversations in their own homes. We know that. We have conversations in our homes.
Right.
There's a lot of things that we talk about with each other and our family members that we smart enough to know, so we can't say this, right?
Yeah.
But it's the fact that we heard it, right?
Yep.
Right. It's the fact that we heard it was like, oh, he's canceled. It's nothing. It's nothing new. Is it? It's nothing. It's nothing new. So I think that when you know we hear certain people make certain remarks or certain gestures or whatever, like it's nothing new to us, right? So I think that if it's not something, to me at least, for a situation like Donald Sterling, personally, I said, okay, well, his girl or something put his business out there, right? First of all, he didn't say it in public. You know, he didn't say it at work. Right? We just heard it, so it's like, all right, I already knew he felt like that. I didn't care about Donald Sterling anyway.
Yep.
Right? I didn't watch to support Donald Sterling. I watched the Clippers because Chris Paul,
Blake Griffin,
right? Yeah. So like, I'm gonna continue.
Lob City.
At that time, it was crazy. It was crazy.
So I'm gonna continue to do so. You know, and I didn't think that affected how I perceived the NBA or the Clippers or anything. And also, like, a lot of times, I don't think about I'm putting money in someone's pockets by watching, right? I think about what I'm getting out of it.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, selfishly, if I can continue to get what I want to get out of it, that other stuff comes secondary sometimes, you know? So, you know, maybe that's me. Maybe I got to do a better job of, you know, trying to have a little more substance and look deeper into it. But for me, a lot of times it's just like, I don't even care about, you know, that other side of it, right? As long as I'm getting what I came for, then I'll continue to do that.
What if all of your designers that you wore, or you found out some of your favorite designers were racist, right? Like, you remember back in the day when I was younger, the whole Tommy Hilfiger thing came out. Would you stop wearing it now that you know that? Because we canceled Gucci for 3 days.
For 3 days.
We canceled Gucci for 3 days.
3 days,
you know, Gucci was canceled for 3 days. And I'm not talking about Gucci, man. I mean the store, Italian made Gucci,
man.
right? Canceled it for 3 days. And then, you know, birthdays started happening.
Yeah.
You know, you wanted shoes, you wanted a purse, you wanted a dress, you wanted a shirt.
Yeah.
You know, and all of these companies specifically market to us. So if we literally take away our dollar, it will hurt them most. A lot of people don't know this, but the black economy alone,
Largest spender, right?
Alone, the black economy in America will be the 14th largest economy in the world, right behind Mexico and between Mexico and Spain.
Yeah.
And we cancel us, further diminishing our dollar, right?
Yeah.
In our community, the circulation of it. But yet Gucci is still on Front Street.
Yeah.
You know, how you guys feel about Gucci being on Front Street still?
We're so materialistic that brands like Gucci and Tommy, you know, unfortunately, regardless of what they do, they still symbolize like success.
Yeah.
And I'm doing well.
Yeah.
You know, so it's hard for people in our community to walk away from those things because we want people to
know that we
or feel that and see that about us.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the unfortunate thing. So even though they may be canceled, it's still like, I still know that t-shirt is $110 and the average person can't buy that. So like, I probably still want to. I still want to rock that.
Because it's gonna make me feel different. It's gonna make people feel different about me.
It's gonna make people feel different about me.
It's gonna make people feel different about me.
So it's optics.
Yeah,
It's optics, bro,
and I'm
for
glad
sure.
you said that. I'm glad you said that because it does confirm the point you made about us canceling each other, right? But not keeping that same energy with other brands,
Yeah.
right? And
It's
it
a
sucks
problem.
because when that happens, it lets you know indirectly that we actually value the art and the service and the product of other brands and other
Cultures, too.
races
Yep.
more than we do our own.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
We
unfortunate.
kind of put these brands, forget about the price. Because if, I don't know, a black brand can have a $400 t-shirt and Gucci can have a $400 t-shirt, people will still say, yo, that shirt's better and that means more and that's more quality. It's not about even the price. It's just like, yo, Italian.
It is about the price for ours. Why does yours cost so much?
You're
And you
right.
but Gucci
You-
costs-
right.
It's Gucci.
So yes.
They never asked the question for them.
Right,
It's
so-
always asked. The questions are always proposed to us.
Yeah, so that it kind of lets you know that it is very disappointing that we don't value the things that we create and the companies that we create and the business that we create as much as, you know, other people's businesses, and that's disappointing, man.
Very.
You know.
Yeah, I don't think us as black people, we realize how much buying power we possess.
Mm-hmm.
Like we see it and we know it, but like when you see people drip down in designer, it's a lot of them are us. Like a lot of them are us, you know.
Yeah.
And then these designers are able to completely continue to circulate because of the music. You know, music is nobody who, with the exception of deaf people who say I've never heard a song. Like that's something that everybody's listened to music before. So therefore, within our music, if you're hearing, you know, I got my Dior shirt, I got this, it's like, okay, that guy looks like that. He makes this amount of money. Like you said, that's a symbol.
Symbolizes success.
It's symbol success, opulence. That's where he's at with it.
Straight up.
You know, and you know, your brand it does it.
I was just about to say that.
You know, and a matter of fact, because it doesn't, I know it's selling for $200. I'm gonna ask you for a discount because I still don't think it should be that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna support though.
But I would never go into Gucci ask for a discount.
Nah, I've never seen it before.
Never, because actually, people are willing. People want to spend that money. People want to be able to say, man, I spent $300 on a t-shirt for other brands, right? People actually want to spend money so they can have bragging rights to say, yo, I got money. I spent money on this shirt. You know what I mean? I came out with $220 joggers, right? When I launched Law 17, all right? When I think about the designer space, I see joggers for $600, $700, right? And people are saying, $220, you crazy, right? They have no idea what went into the joggers,
Who do you think you are?
right? Who do you think you are?
200. Who do you think you are?
That's the conversation, right? But we value other, you know, and I could be a new designer I could be a white designer, a new designer, and I come out off the rip, hey, yo, these $500 sweats. And it's like, okay, well, it makes sense. It makes sense for him or them, you know? And I think that, you know, that kind of holds us back, and that makes it extremely hard to even, you know, try to create a brand you want or even have an opinion you want, because everyone, like that whole mindset of like, who do you think you are, is just another variation of cancel culture.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is.
It's
complete cancel culture.
It's just another
You know,
variation
and
of
it's
cancel
like
culture.
it's like, who do you think you are? But I say that because I low key was looking at you and I was like, he think he better than me, and now I know he makes mistakes too. So let me bring him down. And that's how I feel what cancel culture works within our culture. You know, I understand these people make mistakes, but you know, we always, you know, when you get a DUI, you know, they don't give you the death penalty.
Yeah.
You got to go take classes so they can see that you're better now, so it won't happen again. How do we know these people are better after we cancel them?
Yeah.
We're not even gonna give them a chance to get better. Who are we to
Offer
ostracize
any help?
somebody?
We don't offer any help.
No, we don't offer any help. Like, who
How
are
we
we
can
to
rehabilitate
ostracize somebody?
somebody? Yeah.
You know, like for us to say that I'm so good, I can cancel you because you did bad. Who are you to say that?
Like, you never made a mistake.
That
They
brings
just don't
me-
have
shit
no
don't
light.
stink. Your shit don't stink.
That
fam.
brings me to the next point. Do you feel like cancel culture a lot of times can be hypocritical?
I think it's always hypocritical. Not always. Not always. Some actions require people to be canceled, right? I.e., somebody murder an individual, rape an individual,
right?
Things of that nature, right? But these are other things, these other mistakes, right? Jussie Smollett, you just lied.
He just lied.
You just lied, bro. You just lied, bro. You just lied, bro.
That's what he did.
Lie.
Just a little lie.
All you did was lie, bro.
Just a little lie.
So we cancel motherfuckers. So yes, it is hypocritical.
What are some other things that you can think of? You can't think of anything that people would cancel a celebrity for that they do every day. Can you think of anything?
I've seen people get canceled because they said, you know, they were like an artist and they're like, no, I don't just make music for black people. I make music for everybody. So if black people don't listen to my music, it's okay.
Damn.
Right?
Cancel for that.
Cancel.
Damn.
Cancel.
Get on and get. You out of here. You know what? My political views may be different than yours. You know, I financially, I side with the Republican Party. Cancel.
Yeah.
No. Don't put on that red hat. Cancel.
Wow.
Did we mention that we canceled Kanye for the MAGA hat?
It was the hat. He had a meeting with Donald Trump and he wore a hat.
It wasn't the hat.
I mean, well, you know
It
what?
wasn't the hat. He came out and made a comment that slavery was a choice.
Right. He did make that comment.
Okay. But in the media, we said we're canceling Kanye because he wore a MAGA hat, right? But reality is, I think people who really understood the situation canceled him because of the statement he made about slavery being a choice.
Cool. So let's sit down and have a talk with him on why it wasn't a choice. But we're gonna
let's get a better understanding of his perspective.
Yeah. Hey,
but you know what's crazy?
By that?
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
I understood what he meant,
I understand.
and that's what the problem was.
So he's talking about the mindset of slavery.
The mindset of slavery.
The mindset
having
of
an
slavery.
enslaved mind.
Yeah, he wasn't saying like we were physically like keeping ourselves shackled.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying that.
And like, you know, people canceled him. Van Lathan blew up off of pressing him in public. You know, he got fired from TMZ for that, by the way. But he pressed him. It was one of the most eloquent, beautiful pressings I've ever seen in my entire life, and he blew up from it. Right, because a lot of people felt that same way, but I liked what he did because in the moment he was like, "I'm gonna educate my brother right here on this." By you saying that, the backlash comes on us, you know, everyday black folk, not you celebrity, not you having a 6,000 foot square home, not you having a $10 million home. I mean, us everyday blue collar black people. You made it harder for us, and that was the approach that he took. And I love that he decided to educate him in that spot rather than saying, "Oh, I'm never messing with Kanye again," behind his back.
Right.
And I think it's whack too. Like when just because I cancel somebody, bro, y'all too don't got to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Make your own choice.
Make your own
Be an
choice.
adult.
Think for yourself.
Yeah, live for yourself.
You know, it's all good. Like, y'all don't got to do that. You may, I don't know what affection you might have for Kanye. You might have heard his song and it helped you get through a passing of somebody close to you. I don't know what affection you have with that. But, you know, for people to say, Duke, because you like Kanye, I don't like you either. Oh, I don't like you either.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. It's crazy. You know, we don't shed any grace, you know, and like one thing that I'm kind of like going through right now as far as learning is to exhibit the same grace amongst people that you want people to exhibit to you, right? The same grace you want God to have on you when you make a mistake, you got to exhibit that at times. Like you have to showcase that to people that it's like, hey, you know you made a mistake here, but I'm going to show you why it was a mistake and what we can do to get better because we need Kanye.
Yeah.
We need that black man.
Yeah,
For sure.
Because he's creating lanes that we
Come
ain't seen
on,
before,
bro.
You know,
Everybody's
He's creating
fashion
lanes,
is him.
He's creating lanes and he's making the runway a lot longer for us to run to.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
And what used to seem crazy is not so crazy anymore because of Kanye. You know,
that's real.
like the collabs, the $1 billion shoes, the businesses. You know what I mean? The Gap collab, just everything he's saying. And I've been looking at old interviews. I'm saying, wow, we really didn't we really didn't believe this, right? But you know, 6 years, 7 years later, everything is coming into fruition, and it's inspiring, bro.
They usually say geniuses are crazy.
Yo, so I want to ask y'all, do you feel like people should be held accountable, right, and canceled for things they said or did 10 years ago, you know? Like, can you, I guess, grow from the things you said.
You mean like put a statute of limitations on what they did? I do think that people should still be able to get canceled for certain things, but it's like kind of like twofold for me. As time changes and evolves, it's words that we used to hear on network television back in the day that it's completely unacceptable now. So
right.
It's I think you have to look at those situations a little closer. You have to look at kind of like the time and when they were doing things, and because if you put it because we don't know what the rules will be in 2040. It may be things that you've done consistently in your life that in 2040 people will shun and look down upon. We used to use certain words that we absolutely cannot say that we're
cannot say.
Can't say it. Don't say it.
Right.
There used to be a game we used to play.
Right.
In the street. Can't play that game no more.
There was a football involved?
There was a football involved.
See?
You know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
Smear.
Which one?
Smear. It rhymes with smear.
It rhymes with smear.
So yeah. and you can't use that type of verbiage anymore. But I do agree with that because it is a level of elevation. It is a level of growth, a level of understanding and empathy. Understanding what somebody went through. I can't tell a girl just because you were touched 15 years ago, it doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. At the same time, though, recently I went to this charity golf event, and this golf event was sponsored by or put on by, I think it's called the Dream Center. I think there's one here in LA, but this is
downtown
in Colorado, right? And if you guys are unfamiliar with the Dream Center, they have a very instrumental role in helping guys rehabilitate themselves coming out of prison.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys that I met and I golfed with, when I say a lot, I mean like all of them were out of prison or transitioning from like a halfway house into like back to society from life sentences for murders, right? I'm talking to guys, I'm engaging in or I'm conversing with guys that did 24, 23, 22-year bids, right? And it's like these guys have definitely paid, their dues or served the consequence for their actions, right? So like obviously we would assume that if that's anybody we know or someone of influence, like you're canceled. Kill somebody, you're canceled, right?
Yeah.
But you do 20 years, and I know the question was about 10 years, but if you do 20 years and you come home, is that person still canceled?
Pay my dues.
I paid my dues already, man. I paid my dues to society. Like I made a selfish decision back in the day, and I've had to live with that for 24 years behind bars, right? Is it still fair for you guys to cancel me once I come home? Like, how do I ever get a chance to get back living? Like, am I just, now am I in society? Am I just isolated because no one rocks with me because of a mistake that I made 24 years ago? Now, I know the mistake was fatal, but I think, like, how do we navigate through those type of situations? Like, so I think that like people should be like forgiven or
for sure,
or given the grace after time.
I think that comes from people not believing that people changed.
Yeah.
I feel like if you make a mistake, it's just like that mistake always haunts you because people don't really believe that you're different now. Yeah. So I think when you start realizing that people can actually change and grow from mistakes and, evolve over time, then you'll be more willing to just accept the fact that, okay, this dude paid his dues. But last question, man, can comedians be canceled?
Like we wouldn't listen to him anymore. Bill Cosby.
Okay. Can comedians,
you're right.
We got to separate
Bill Cosby.
We got to separate that art.
He technically wasn't a comedian anymore.
Okay, I'm saying, can comedians be canceled for their jokes?
No, I don't think so. I feel like comedians get the pass to say, like, comedian can get on stage right now and tell a gay joke and it's still funny.
Now, can they?
Yes.
They got to tread a little lighter, but they still can.
You can still get on stage.
Can they say certain words? Can they say the F word?
You cannot say the F word.
Okay.
You cannot say the F word. You cannot say the F word. Yo, you can't say the F word. You can't say the T word either.
Can you say the H word? Can you say the H word?
Nah, you can't say the H word either.
Oh, you can't say the H word, right?
But they could get. I think they could still get on stage and tell those type of jokes.
Jokes
without being ridiculed and being canceled. I feel like
today, man, it's so tough, man, because you just never know. So a lot of comedians are like, yo, I really want to tell that joke, but I got to stay away from it because, you know, comedians, man, how they make their bread is like everyone loving them and stuff. So
that's fucked up, though, because we don't confine musicians to their art. We don't say, hey, you got to live inside of this box. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, though, musicians aren't using
right, but
homophobic lyrics.
Comedians can be a little more offensive, though, because the jokes is like directly on one them. Person. You know what I mean?
I mean, they canceled Kramer.
What did he say?
It was really derogatory words towards like black women. They canceled him. You know, Dave Chappelle, he still says gay jokes.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not canceled though. He says
they will never cancel Dave.
Nah, he's a little different.
Nah, Dave went to Africa
he's a
for a whole year, so like he paid his dues.
Yeah,
or like they was like he turned down that bread. Okay, we can't cancel him. We can't cancel him.
Yeah.
Nah, but I think it's tough. It's tough. Being a comedian is different than it was back in the day. You got to understand, like on Sanford and Son, you know, if you guys don't know how they used to talk back in the day, go watch that show. They say some stuff where you like, oh, that would never fly now.
Yep.
I was just watching Major Payne. You know, and it was a fat dude doing sit-ups, and he like 1 𝗬𝗶𝗀𝗶𝗬𝗬 2. You can't do that in the movie anymore.
Yeah.
You know, as a deaf dude on Major Payne, you can't do that on a movie anymore. It's just certain things that you just won't be able to get away with anymore within this time.
Yeah.
Because
society's a lot more sensitive.
Society's a lot more sensitive, and you know where I felt like I seen the turn starting to happen. If you guys don't know, it's a football player, a Super Bowl champion. His name is James Harrison. And he was criticized heavily because his kids, they lost a football game and they still got a participation trophy. Okay, let's take this trophy back. And everybody's like, why don't make it take the trophy back? And he was like, well, because that's not real life.
It's not.
Everybody doesn't win in real life when you lose. And when you lose, you should know you lost. And when you win, you should know you won. But when you start blurring the lines between winning and losing, that's when you lose him. So he got criticized for that, and I wholeheartedly agree with him. Do you believe in participation trophies in life? You believe in participation trophies in life?
And I don't think anybody should be canceled for not believing in it.
Nah.
I don't either. You know? So
that's
like
not life.
Your political views, for you to have your political views and someone cancel you because of that.
Yeah.
It's like, now, you know what? Instead of talking about it, I'll just go on my booth and vote on my own and won't say anything to anybody. Nobody will know where I stand. Nobody has the opportunity to educate me if I don't have education. You know, because you guys eliminated that. I'd rather not get criticized, so I just do everything in the privacy of my own.
For sure.
3 takeaways, man. I want you guys, if you guys are listening right now, to take away from the show, man. I want you guys to be open-minded. You know, I want you guys to continue to be open-minded. I also want you guys to have grace with each other, you know, and just be a little more delicate with each other because, you know, we're not perfect, you know, and we're all different. And I also want you guys to be fair, you know, just keep in mind that we've all made mistakes in our lives, and, you know, we should treat other people the way that we want to be treated if we were in this situation, man. But make sure you guys, if you guys enjoyed the episode, please leave some feedback, comment. Right, if you guys are watching right now or listening, screenshot right now and post to your stories and tag Nice and Neat the podcast, tag Duke, tag Omar, tag Jalon right now, and we're gonna repost some of you guys and even shout you out next episode, man. Continue to just keep supporting. We appreciate you guys. You can follow us on, or you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, catch us on YouTube, all of the above, man. But with that said, man, I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalon, and this is Nice and Neat, and that's that on that.
I'll be the one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting old and I don't got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the 100 pledge allegiance I stand. I'm 𝗀𝗄𝗄𝗹